I got a ticket today. So it got me thinking that there should be, you know how in movies, like in action movies, and they're chasing like a bad guy, and then like Bruce Willis like gets in some guy's car and he's like, "Hey, that's my car," and he's like, he pulls up like a badge or whatever. I want one of those. I think there should be a program you get to be like a super citizen, and you can like park where you want, or you can just like take other people's cars. You can like just like flash the badge, like, no, hey, I have a thing to do. You know, I wouldn't abuse it. I could see other people doing it, but I assure you I wouldn't. But I think it'd be a good program because they let you do it with other stuff, like with airport security. There's, if you pay more money, you can just go through the line. You don't have to go through security. So there should be like a similar thing with a super citizen pass, but it also should not be a lot of money because I don't have a lot of money. So it should
Well, I
be
think
like $30.
if you're a super citizen, maybe that should only apply to things like you can take a bus or you can take a police car. But if you're taking
Yeah.
somebody else's car, it's cool in the movies.
Yeah, yeah.
But you don't want somebody to come up and take your car when they get the super citizen pass.
But then you flash your pass, and you're like, hey, but
it
it's
cancels.
I actually have to commandeer this car.
Do they have to get out, or can they
Yes.
just move to the
No,
passenger?
if they're already getting out of the car, let's not get anything too crazy. If they're parked and their car door is unlocked, there should be some rules.
Well, because you're
not
not
allowed
like
to hit them. You're not allowed to be like, but you have to flash the badge, and I don't know if they should have to let you. Maybe it's like they can let you if they want.
So you're like, Mother, may I take your car?
Yeah, it's for the common good. I don't know. I haven't thought that part out as much. How about this? Let's make it a little bit more reasonable. You can take someone's food. That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for is that you can take someone's food when you want in case of an emergency.
What constitutes an emergency? Like, I haven't eaten in an hour and a half, or
my blood sugar is
nothing.
crashing.
Blood sugar is low. I mean, that's up to the discretion of the officer. You gotta trust these guys to make the right decision. See, here's the thing. I have a lot of food emergencies. I forget to eat a lot, and then I get like too hungry, and then I'm
you're
like
just
very
hungry.
cranky.
It's
So
not a medical emergency. It's just convenient.
Yeah. Issue of like convenience, because that's what they're really doing in the movies. It's like, hey, it's more convenient to like chase this guy in this Maserati than it would on foot.
I don't have diabetes, but I've been pre-diabetic on and off.
You should be able to take some people's shit.
If I was gonna pass out, I would just take it and apologize. Like, if I was sitting there and somebody had like a Coca-Cola like sugar like right there, and I just couldn't get anything.
Yeah,
I think people would be.
I understand.
They wouldn't arrest you. Worst case, they would yell at you, and you would pay them back and apologize and say that you were about to pass out.
But with the badge, you wouldn't need to do that. You could just like flip it open, which makes you feel
How many
cool.
people do you think would? I mean, you see what happens now with other mandates. Super citizen. I don't believe in super citizen badges, so I'm not going to abide by it.
It's controversy. It's good for the brand. Any press is good press. We're going to hit up Fox News. We're going to hit up MSNBC. We're getting them talking about it. Get our stock
you have
going
your
up.
anti-badgers and your badgers.
Yeah.
Do you have to
selling these badges, or is it a public service?
Well, now that I know I can make money from it, I think I'm going to sell them.
So it's just anybody, even if they're a total dick, they can become a super citizen.
I mean, there's a test you got to take, but I mean, sometimes you need like a person who's a dick to get stuff done. You need someone like, hey, get back to work or whatever. What constitutes a dick?
So what kind of questions are you going to have on your test? It's like, am I diabetic? Do I see people with food I want?
What's your favorite kind of food? What kind of food would you steal? Do you have any food right now? Can I have it?
Is it just for food now, or is it still for cars and other things too?
I mean, I would love for it to be cars. Here's what we do. We start at food, kind of like Uber, where they started with just doing cars, and now they're doing like everything. Now they like have helicopters and shit. So we start at food, and then we slowly branch out into every branch of life.
Food, cars, clothing.
Food,
clothing. Give me your clothes.
Okay, here's my badge. I can take your wife.
I mean,
sounds like civil forfeiture, but where anybody can do it.
Yeah. I think.
What about cutting in line, or like?
That's very good. That'd be a great use for it. They never really use that in the movies, but that seems like a much more like just to be the next in line at Subway or something, just something stupid.
Like a fast pass,
Yeah.
Disney fast pass, but for the world.
Yeah, you just get into stuff sooner.
There's a line to the women's bathroom. You can just cut in
Sorry,
front of everybody.
I need to commandeer the stall. Yeah. Yeah, and you also have to use the word commandeer. That is non-negotiable. You have to say whatever it is. Like, I'm going to commandeer the sandwich. I'm going to commandeer. That's
You
specific.
have to act like a cop, like, sir, I need to commandeer your vehicle, like
you gotta
loud.
say it kind of cool though.
Yeah, I thought I could sound like a cop, but I guess I don't know how to sound like a
Yeah,
cop.
I don't really know. I haven't really. I was trying to do like a Bruce Willis impression, but I'm like, I don't know.
You were just pulled over. You should have cop fresh in your mind.
Oh no, I got a parking ticket. I got a
a parking ticket. But yeah, you just buy it then. It's just
or you earn it. You earn it through acts of bravery.
How many times do you have the opportunity for an act of bravery?
That's what keeps the numbers down. That's what keeps everyone from having it.
So this would be great for carjackers because bystanders wouldn't be able to tell necessarily if you're a super citizen or if you're a carjacker. They're just going to.
They have the badge.
You can't tell if there's a badge if you're across the street in a cafe. Like maybe if you're right there as a bystander.
No, they have to be able to see you steal it. That's another rule because they have to be like, well, that's my car. Like you have to be able to have that exchange. That's kind of the whole point, is to be like the movies. You can't just go around someone's house when they're not home and take all their shit. That's not what the badge is for.
Is there a shitty citizen badge for people who have to return the shit that the super citizens took? Like people who are on community service, instead of picking up trash in a park, they have to be a shitty citizen and they have to go gather up all the cars that super citizens have.
They have to clean up all the messes. Yeah, like you know how like they're always crashing into stuff and like there's hell and like glass and shit. They got to clean that up.
Would you call them shitty citizens or would they be
improving? We want to keep it positive. You don't want to call people shitty. That's like that'll do number on them psychologically. So to rehabilitate them and to not be shitty, you call them improving.
So what I see is you don't like this whole equality thing in the United States. It's like, I want to do like a new high-tech caste system. So now we've got citizens in training, we've got citizens, and we've got super citizens. And it's not based on your birth. It's just based on wealth.
It's based on your deeds. No, it's based on
it's based on your deeds now. Okay.
Again, you have to commit an act of bravery.
Setting a firecracker off in your ass and jumping off of a roof into a pool is very brave.
It's really funny and cool, but not very brave.
So it would have to be a brave act that helps other people.
Bravery is like you help an old lady cross the street.
Well, that's not very brave, unless there's like she's going to get hit by a car and you dive in the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you're just helping her and there's no danger.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, if you like risk your life to save her, then yeah, you get a badge. People do that kind of stuff all the time, and this will incentivize people to do it more.
Have you ever heroically done an act of bravery?
Whoa, kinda. When I was 19, I gave a guy the Heimlich maneuver at a grocery store I worked at, and I was like super stoned when it happened. So it was just a very intense like thing. And then once here, I was on a train going to a show. This is pre-COVID. This was almost like 2 years ago. And we're on a train and this older guy gets on and we're underground, which only matters really because cell phone reception is bad. You can't get cell phone reception sometimes. And then the train stopped, which happens all the fucking time, but it stopped very suddenly. And this older guy fell and he hit his head. And like immediately me and like two other guys go to pick him up. You know, when you get that moment where like you pick up a couch or something with somebody and then immediately you realize that you're doing all the lifting, you know, that sensation of like, oh, the weight's on me. So that was like very like, oh shit. Okay. So then we got him up. And he was like bleeding like right above his eye. So I guess there's like a lot of vessels there. So he's like bleeding all over the place. And he was an older Asian man. So I don't know. I mean, he was dressed very nicely. So I don't know I mean, I assume he spoke English because people were like, "Are you okay?" And he wasn't like really responding, but he would like kind of like nod or whatever. And like someone like got like a bunch of like napkins and tissues and stuff, and they like put it on his head. And then I remember telling him like, no, keep pressure, because he kept like taking it off to look. And my mom was a nurse, so she always was like, anytime you get like a cut or whatever, just like pressure, because that's like what helps like shut it, cut off some of the blood flow. Then it also got to a point of like, okay, where's my responsibility to this guy? Like, because there was like a bunch of people on the train, and then it was kind of like a couple people like asked him questions, and it just seemed like he was embarrassed and didn't want the help too. It was a weird vibe, because also like a New York City thing is like, you don't fuck with people. Like, it's just like, whatever you're doing is none of my business. Like, I know you're doing it 5 inches from my face, but it's none of my business. So there's like also that weird social aspect of it. But then I got to my stop and I was like, okay, you're good. And these other people, I kind of looked at the other people and I was like, all right, well, I picked him up. Like, I left.
I did my part.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Eventually, you've got to leave. You can't just
and
follow
I went
him.
to like a really bad bar show and just like talked about it there. I mean, it was a very weird moment.
I have an incident where somebody had pulled the jet ski out of the lake and was fueling it up, and the gas burst into flames. So it's like side of his face and his arm was like on fire, and he was like running around. And I was driving by, and I stopped and I tried to help, but I couldn't figure out how to help. Like I couldn't find any buckets to dump water to like put out the fire, and people there had already like knocked the guy to the ground and put out his arm. But it's like I tried to help, but I ended up not helping. Would I still get super citizen for putting the effort in?
You would get
I didn't make it work.
Notable commendation. You would get like a hand signed letter from the president saying,
if I did 2 half rescues, maybe.
Yeah.
Like
Over time, it's like, hey, we're keeping an eye on you. Keep it up.
You failed to rescue if enough people. We'll give it to you.
We noticed. We're keeping tabs. We noticed you're putting the work in, and you're not what we were looking for right now. But we could use a kid like you.
You're improving.
Yes, it's all about positive reinforcement.
And I had someone give me the Heimlich once.
Really?
I've had a huge reflux problem, and for a while I had scar tissue in my throat that I didn't know about, and I was choking when I was in college, and somebody gave me the Heimlich. I don't even remember what the dude looked like. It'd be nice to like go back and thank him, but it was like, oh, and then he's gone, and it's like I didn't even see who it was. It sucks. But maybe the shitty citizen could be like not the criminal, but the person who was saved now has to go pick up other people's cars. Like, how in like Westerns, if you save someone's life, they follow you around and try to repay the favor. Maybe it could be that.
Yeah, or maybe they owe you a life debt, like Chewbacca or whatever. Or like they get one favor from you.
Well, that's like something totally different, though.
Yeah,
I'm thinking in your system, like maybe you're not doing the favor for the person who saved you, but you're picking up some other super citizen's car.
Well, the shitty citizens
whatever
are people who like chew with their mouth open and like have full on conversations on speakerphone in like public places and like that kind of stuff. You get a demotion.
So now we're almost exactly the Chinese social credit thing, but the only way to get credit is to save people's lives. It's hard. Everybody would be in the negative. Or maybe the super citizens can only commandeer the cars of the shitty citizens.
For sure. That might be a better system. You need like an app or something.
If you're in the middle, you're just not affected at all by your system.
Right. It'd be, you can like, there's an app, you would be able to tell where people, or if they got a shitty determinator score, I mean, it's factored in. It's not.
Now you're punishing people for being dumb now.
Well,
that's
I don't know.
Shitty.
It might be a little shitty, but it gets people saving each other's lives, which is, that's the most important thing in America right now.
Would there ever be fights over being able to save someone? Like 2 people are walking down the street, somebody drops over, and they both really save them. Who gets the credit?
That's a really funny like sketch idea of 2 guys arguing over to save a guy.
And then he ends up dying because they were arguing.
This has been a production of Planet Amp Podcast, powered by Pinecast.